G'day folks, it's Cortezerino. Today I'm going to show you how to build my 3-in-1 iron farm, villager breeder and villager trading hall. So this trading hall is a variation on my design for the easiest villager trading hall. But instead of having a single guy up above surrounded indoors who thinks he's the only guy in the village, we're using an iron farm instead, and the way this works is the iron farm has enough doors to support 15 villagers in the village, but there are only 10 villagers up here in the iron farm. So usually with these designs, when you want the iron farm to think it doesn't have enough villagers in the village, you need to put each villager in a separate little holding cell so they can't breed with each other, and it's really annoying to build. But in this one, if any of these guys make a baby, the baby's just going to drop down into the water stream with the golems and get burnt in the lava. So this iron farm will always think, all the villagers in the iron farm will always think that the village needs more villagers. And that means that all the guys in our trading hall are going to look up at that iron farm and think, well, we better get to work breeding. So the way this works is we've got a farmer up the top here, and he will harvest carrots or potatoes, and he'll throw the crops down to the hungry villagers in the boats, and they'll throw their food around and share it together. And when they get enough food in their inventory, they will become willing to breed. And they'll also become willing to breed when you trade with them. So when they become willing to breed, they will make a baby. The baby will drop down into these water streams and get pushed up onto this bit of land here. And we've got some crops here, so it's only a matter of time before you get a brown-robed villager here. And he will start harvesting. And these guys are also just in range of the doors above, so they'll see the village and think, oh well, we better breed as well. So it's kind of like having two villager breeders in one. And anyway, they will roam around, and when they get to the edges here, they will walk up onto the very edge of the trapdoor. And if there's an empty spot in the boat, their head will enter the hitbox of the boat, and they'll get sucked up into our trading hall. And that's how we can interview our villagers to get rid of the ones we don't want. So all you need to do if you decide you don't like a villager is you just come in, give them a choppy with your axe, and when a guy below wanders over to this side, like just then, we got one pop up into the boat, where we'll just keep replacing our villagers. So this is a super compact way of building a villager breeder and a villager trading hall, and super easy because there is 0 redstone. And the great thing about this too is usually if you build a trading hall in your base, you have to build your iron farm more than 64 blocks away or way up in the sky, just so the villagers don't merge with each other. But in this one, you can put it all in the one spot. Now we're going to begin by building our iron farm, because I'm going to show you how to populate the iron farm and the trading hall with villagers just from a single breeding pair. But to begin, we're going to build a pillar of blocks that is 7 blocks tall, then leave the top one there, and we're going to break the 6 below that. Now at this height, we're going to build a platform that is 16 blocks by 16 blocks. Now if you're playing on the PC, you can press F3 and G together to bring up your chunk borders, and that will help you just to line out a 16 by 16 area. You don't have to build this farm inside of a chunk border, but if you can, then you might as well. Now once you've got your 16 by 16 platform, find the center 4 blocks and knock them out. Then what you can do is come underneath and build down 3 glass to make a 2 by 2 funnel coming down from that hole. And then just below the glass we can put some chests in for storage. Now some of these are going to store our iron, and the rest is just for whatever random storage you like. So we'll put some chests on each side. Okay, now we'll come back up the top, and you can place a couple of temporary blocks there, blocks on top, delete those. And we're just going to run a 1 high line of blocks all the way around the farm. So next we're going to build the holding cell for our villagers that will hold the adult villagers in place but allow the babies to drop down. So on one side, I want you to come along and build 4 blocks like so, right in the center. Then you can break the 4 blocks in front, and we're going to place 4 more at that level. So we've got a little alcove. Next, grab some cobblestone walls, and there we're going to build the walls up 5 high in total. 2, 3, 4, 5, and at the second from the top, we're going to build a line of walls connecting those two. Now come around to the outside, and at the very top, place a wall there and there. Then you can connect these walls as well, and then down the bottom, at the very bottom wall, we're going to come out 2 and then connect these up. Now you need to place 4 blocks against this wall here, because that will make the wall connect, and it just makes the hitbox of this wall a little bit larger. Then right at the top, grab some wooden fences this time, place a post there and there, and connect these up. And once you've done that, go across to the opposite side and build exactly the same thing. Alrighty, we've got our holding cells in place. On each side of the holding cell, we're going to build this wall up by another 2 blocks. So it's 3 high in total, and do that all the way around. Now grab yourself some glass blocks, and we're going to place a temporary one there, delete that so it's right in the corner, and we're going to build that 3 high. So these will be the sky access for our doors. So you can never cover these up or you will shut down the iron farm. So once you've got your 3 high glass block pillars in each corner, come along and place 5 doors like so. Don't place them on an angle like that. They need to be facing at the glass. So placing 5, we're going to do that in every corner. So once you've got all your doors in place, just like I've done in that side, you can fill up this middle area with blocks like so, and then build a ceiling all the way across these doors on each side. So the floor down below here is the first spawning pad for our golem. Now we're going to build the second. So I want you to count up 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 4th one we're going to put a slab at the very top of that block. Now golems need a 4 block area to spawn, but because that isn't a solid block, they're going to ignore it when they try and spawn down the bottom here, but they will recognize it when they try and spawn on top of this slab. So we're just going to build this platform right across the farm. And once again, be sure to leave a 2x2 space directly in the middle. And while we've got our slabs handy, let's just run around the top here and make the entire area spawn proof. So you want to put slabs on top of all of these blocks and slabs on top of these. Be sure not to put any slabs on top of our glass. Now we're ready to place all our water to push the golems down into this center hole. Now just to make it a little bit easier, because it can be a little bit confusing how to place the water in these iron farms, what we're going to do is grab some slabs, come along to a corner, and we're going to build 6 slabs all the way along. When you get to the 6th one, come across in a ziggy-zaggy, and then we'll fill in this area. And the golems will ignore these slabs when they're trying to spawn. They'll actually spawn on the slab below it, and their feet will be buried in the block. But that doesn't stop the water from pushing them all the way to the center. So just go ahead and build the same pattern in each corner. So that's the water done for our top level. Come down to the bottom platform and do exactly the same thing. 6 slabs along and make the ziggy-zaggies. The only difference for this level is we're also going to place 4 buckets of water right on this little platform here, just to push the baby villagers down into the farm. But then it's exactly the same, just place 1 bucket of water in each corner. Okay, our iron farm is ready to go, but we're not putting in any lava to kill our golems just yet. What we want to do is bring our 2 villagers up here, and we're going to breed them up here. So at the level of these wooden fences, I want you to build a platform of dirt blocks. Now you can do this platform however you like, because we're going to destroy it later. But I've built it all the way along to the other fence posts here. Put a wall around it so our villagers can't fall off. And then we'll place a couple of water buckets in here to hydrate our earth. And then you can go ahead and till all this area and we're going to plant some carrots or potatoes in here. So you could use mine carts to get your 2 villagers up into this little breeding chamber, but early game I think the easiest way is to get them into a boat, and I've got a piston with a piece of dirt on top. Then you can just grab yourself a button, place it next to the piston, and just one by one we're going to push them up, placing dirt underneath. Eventually the piston won't be able to push any more dirt, but then you just come along and place another piston in there, and you can push them up to the height of our breeding area. Now once you get your 2 guys up here into the breeding chamber, just feed them a bunch of food. Keep coming back up here and feeding them, and with any luck they will make a brown-robed villager who will harvest the crops and feed them for you. And they will breed because they are in range of the doors in the village. So let them breed until they get up to 15 villagers, and they'll do that while we're building the rest of the trading hall. Now golems will begin to spawn, but we're not going to put any lava in here yet to kill them, because we will end up dropping some villagers down this chute. So what you can do is place 4 blocks just in here to catch all the golems, and you can pick them off as you want to. But next, what I want you to do is dig a groove that is 16 blocks by 16 blocks directly below your iron farm. So if you're on the PC, you can press F3 and G, and that is the exact size of one chunk, so you can just follow the chunk border. And it's also a good time to check that you have got a 6 block gap between this floor and the iron farm, just to make sure you're building everything at the right height. So what you want to do now is dig this down 4 blocks in total. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and clear out all of these blocks. Okay, so we've got our hole in place. Now we're going to shed some light on this situation. So come along to a corner and count in 5 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the 5th one, build 3 blocks up and we'll place a light source in there. I'm going to use glowstone, and we'll do that in each corner. Okay, I've skipped ahead a little bit, but this is pretty easy. In each corner, I want you to build a pillar of blocks that is 7 blocks tall, and then 1 block in from the edges, I want you to place a line of blocks in a square. Then on each side of this square, I want you to knock out the middle 2 blocks and place slabs like so. Okay, now you've got that done, we're going to build the water streams to pick up our babies and push them toward the center. So in each corner, I want you to come along and place buckets of water, and any babies that drop down here will be pushed up onto those slabs. So now you've done that, we're going to build some more farmland. So come along and place dirt all through the center. Okay, in the middle 4 blocks of our farmland, I want you to knock out the dirt and place water in here, and this will hydrate all of our earth and also catch the villages that we eventually drop down here. So grab yourself a hoe and till your earth. So next, grab yourself some cobblestone walls, and I want you to place 1 wall in each corner like so. And this is just to stop villagers from getting stuck on this block. And I'll show you what to do on 1 wall here, and you can copy it for the other 3 walls. So I want you to place 5 trapdoors along here and open all of these up. And we'll do that on this side as well. 5 along there, open them up. And then we're going to place some more trapdoors, not on this top block, but on the 2nd block down. And we're going to place the trapdoors at the very top of that block, leaving the 2 bare where our slabs are. Then we're going to come along here, placing trapdoors like so, and leave those ones closed. And once you've got all your trapdoors in place, you can also plant all your carrots or potatoes down the bottom. So next I want you to grab some glass panes, and on each wall I want you to place 1 right in the corner there above your trapdoors, 2 in this little gap where we don't have any trapdoors, and another one there, and do that on each side. And then I want you to place another glass pane right there, and we're going to build a wall of glass panes all the way along here until it connects to the other side, and do this for each side. So these glass panes are going to house our boats. So I want you to come along here, skip a glass pane, place one, skip one, place one, and you'll be able to fit a boat into each of those, and do that on every single wall. But before we place our boats, I want you to decide which side of this is going to be the entrance to your villager trading hall. So I'm going to say this is going to be my entrance. So right here, I want you to knock out these glass panes like so you can still fit 2 boats on each side. And I'm going to put a line of 4 slabs like so, and then we can continue at this level and put slabs right across the top here. Now bear in mind that these do have to be slabs, because that gives the villagers just enough height that they can get up into the boats. If you use a solid block for here, the villagers aren't going to be able to get in the boats. So now, while you've got your slabs handy, let's get rid of all this dripping water. So wherever you've got dripping water, just put a line of slabs. Okay, now you've got all the dripping water handled. It's time to place our boats, and all you have to do is hold shift and place them on top of the trapdoors like so. Now I want you to face the boats always toward the corner pillar, because when the villagers throw their food around, they're going to throw it forwards, and this way it'll hit the pillar and come back to them. They don't end up throwing it away. And also bear in mind, when you place your boats, you want to place it as close to this glass pane at the front here as possible. This makes it easier for the villagers to get into your boat. If you place them too far to the back, the villagers won't be able to get in. But if you place a boat poorly, just jump in it and give it a little bit of a steer, and you can get it to the front. So later on, if you find you've got one boat that the villagers just will not go into, just jump in and steer it more toward the front. And you can see I'm skipping ahead again. So once you've got your boats in place, on each side, except for the side where we've got the entrance to our trading hall, I want you to come to our corner pillars and build back 6 blocks, and then connect these up. And then we're going to build these walls 3 blocks high in total to the height of our corner pillars. So once you've got your 3 little areas enclosed, I want you to grab some dirt, and we're going to place a single layer of dirt blocks all the way along the ground. Alrighty, now that's done, we're going to plant our farmland, and I'll show you what to do on one side, and you can copy it for the other 2 sides. So we're going to begin by placing some slabs at this level. So where our corner pillars are, right across the top here, we're going to place a line of slabs, and this allows a 1.5 block gap, so the farmer up here can throw food down to the guys in the boats, but he can't actually walk off the edge. So next, I want you to grab a bucket of water, and we're going to count in 5 blocks on the back wall. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and knock out the dirt block. So same here, 3, 4, 5, knock out the dirt, and place water in there. That'll hydrate all of our earth. Now above the water, we're going to place a pillar of blocks so our farmer doesn't fall in, with torches on the top block, and then on each corner here, each wall, we're going to place a torch right in the middle, and that's enough light for our plants. So then you can go ahead and hoe all of your earth and plant your carrots or potatoes. Okay, so all our farmland is in place, and if you wanted to, what you could do is make this farmland a little bit bigger and put a brown-robed villager into each one, so each wall of villagers has their own farmer feeding them. But we've got the second villager breeder, the second lot of farmland down below, so I don't think that's necessary. We're going to use 1 farmer up the top here. So in each of these corners here, I want you to place 4 blocks. We'll place a torch right there, and then we'll build these 3 blocks here up by another 2. Then knock out those 2 blocks, and this way the farmer can get over to the other fields. And we are almost done, but there is one last thing to do. We need to make it so the villagers can't throw their food out of arm's reach. And you can see I've already started doing it here. I want you to put a line of glass panes all along the edge here on top of the glass panes at the front, and that just means they will get their food back if they throw it in this direction. and you will still be able to get the XP when you're trading with the villagers. So build that all the way around the front, and when you get to our entrance for the trading hall, just put a couple of extra glass panes at the front, and then you can build yourself a doorway, probably with some iron doors in there so zombies can't break it down, and continue the wall all along here so they can't throw the food out in this direction. And because we don't have a farmer behind that wall, that's a good spot to put some storage chests for all your enchanted books. So that is all done for the trading hall, apart from the iron doors, and currently zombies would be able to spawn up on top of these, but I imagine you're going to put some sort of a ceiling on top of this. So the last thing to do is to build the killing chamber for our golems, but we can't do that until we get all of our villagers into place, and hopefully by now you've got 15 villagers up here, and we want to put 5 adults into each of these holding cells on the side. So if you've got any babies running around here and you're worried about them getting in the way, just break the block below them and drop them down into the water. But it's the adults we want, so come along to each side here, and using dirt, just build up a little bit of a wall here so we can funnel them where we want them to go. Then you can break the cobblestone wall, and all you do is just come in here and push them over the top of the wooden fence, and when they land down here, just jump onto this side, give them another nudge until they fall down there. So just do that, 5 villagers in each holding cell. Okay, so we've got our 5 villagers into each holding cell. Next, we're going to want to drop our villagers down, the leftover ones. So we should have about 5 left. You can do this with fewer, but it's good to use 5 in case we have an unfortunate incident and some of them die. So first thing you want to do is come down here and take care of any golems you got hanging around down here. And once you've done that, you can knock out these 4 blocks so the villagers can fall all the way down to that water. And then it's as simple as coming back up the top here and just clearing out all the dirt and letting them drop down. Oh yeah, and make sure to get rid of that water source. Okay, now we've got all our villagers down below. We want to set up the killing chamber for the golems. So I'm going to have my iron come into this first lot of chests. So I'm going to swing around the back, knock out a few chests so I can work, and we're going to put a hopper into the back of that top chest, one leading into that, one leading into that one, and then from this side, one leading into that. So we've got 4 in total, and below the hopper leading into that chest, we're just going to put 2 more hoppers like so, and then you can fill your chests back up. Now I want you to knock out the glass on one side here, and on the second glass block from the bottom, I want you to place 2 signs on those ones and 2 signs right here. Then you can grab a bucket of lava and place it in one of the corners. So the lava is the 3rd block up from the bottom, so any golem landing in here will get his face cooked. So then you can replace your glass and come over to your entrance and just dig yourself a little bit of access down to the bottom here and seal that up so no one runs away. So we don't want any villagers falling down into this water. So above that, just place a few blocks and you can build that all the way up and place some slabs on top so nothing spawns. So now we're not going to put our villagers into the boats just yet. That's why we've got these trapdoors up, so the villagers won't get high enough to enter the boat. You will get the occasional one slip up there, but what we want to do, because this trading hall works much better as a villager breeder the more villagers you have in it, we're just going to let them breed down here. So just go ahead, feed them, and hopefully you got a brown robe who will do some harvesting, but just build up your villager numbers again. And we want to put 1 farmer, 1 brown robed villager into one of these boats. So there's a brown robe guy. We're going to pop down the trapdoor there so he can get high enough. And it doesn't matter if another one gets in the boat as well, but we're going to push him toward the trapdoor. He'll go up in the boat, and then we can close that again, and we're going to go upstairs. And to get this farmer into our fields, all you need to do is break a few of the slabs above his head and then break the boat that he's in. And he will eventually run up there all of his own accord because he'll see the crops that he wants to harvest. And there we go. So I'll give him a little nudge, replace your slabs and replace your boat. Then come back down below and we can start to open up all the trapdoors below our boats, and this will allow any babies born up there to drop straight down. Now these guys will get themselves into the boats eventually as soon as we start dropping these trapdoors, but we're going to drop the trapdoors on just one wall first because for these guys to breed you need two in a single boat together. And the last thing we want to do is drop all the trapdoors and have them just going off in weird directions and having one in a boat here and one in a boat here. So we're going to fill up one wall first, and you can see them flip up like that. If you're dropping a trapdoor while the guy's standing there, just give him a little nudge off there just to make sure that he's not getting stuck. And you can also give them a little nudge and give them a hand and just keep doing this until they're all up there. See, this guy did get a bit stuck there, so we'll get him off the trapdoor. We'll try that again. Up you go, buddy. There we go. And once you've got one wall completely filled up with guys in boats, then just run around and drop the rest of these trapdoors. Remembering, if you drop it while he's standing there, just give him a nudge off. And very occasionally, just in the normal workings of this trading hall, one guy will manage to get himself stuck on a trapdoor, and you can just pop down here every now and then and give him a tap. So that is it, guys. That is the iron trading hall 100% complete. We've got guys in love over here ready to make some babies, and we've got iron coming in. The only thing I would mention is wait until you've got every single boat filled up with villagers before you start killing the guys that you don't want, like the nitwits, because the more villagers you have in the trading hall, the faster they're going to breed. So thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Cheers, I'm Cortezerino. See you later.